All right, so I just finished a 14-hour long haul flight from Thailand to Seattle. I'm here back visiting family for the month of July, and it was a business class flight, and I slept like 80% of the way, and I woke up and they're like, we will be arriving in 2 hours, and I was shocked. I was shocked that much time had passed. My point here is I've been flying business class to and from US to Southeast Asia now since 2021, since I started doing the point stacking thing. And so in this video, which I've been meaning to make for years, I'm finally doing it. People ask me all the time, how are you doing this points thing? I'm gonna break it down. What is point stacking? What's the easiest way to stack points? How it works. I'm gonna go over my master sheet, which I finally made, which makes it as easy as possible. The step-by-step process, what to do if you have a low/no credit score, how to raise your credit score fast, tips and tricks to meet the minimum spend requirement, a bunch of FAQs, plus the drawbacks / caveats to this whole thing, because there are some drawbacks and things you should avoid. I definitely made some mistakes, so I'm gonna go through that in this video. But quick, before I get into it, story of how I discovered and got into this whole thing. And so this is obviously something I wish I did a lot sooner. I've been a nomad since 2014-15, and I just started doing this in 2021. So the quick story of how I got into this is me and Parker came out to Thailand in 2014 for the Dropship Lifestyle Conference. Meet a dude there named Trevor at Mile Method on Instagram, and I'm following him for years and years, and this dude is constantly traveling the world. He's in Egypt, he's in Argentina, he's in Japan, he's in Mexico, he's in Bangkok. This dude has been constantly traveling the world for over 10 years, basically nonstop. He is the ultimate nomad, and he shares on his Instagram, this flight free, this flight free, this Hilton hotel free. All these, just like follow him, best follow ever, Trevor at Mile Method. He's like, this dude should have millions of followers. And I'm like, whoa, this is fucking sick. And he's sharing how he's doing this all with points, and he's visited over 130 countries, and he's flying his dad out to Kenya for a safari and doing the whole fucking thing with points.
That entire trip with my dad, all of our flights, all of our hotel, that was a $32,000 trip, and we paid $1,200, so a little bit over $1,000.
Wow. Finally, eventually, during COVID, I was just like, all right, I am freaking done watching this dude just fly business class free. I'm done just thinking about it. All right, someday. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. Trevor, I'm ready to do this thing. And I start doing it. So you can check out his website, milemethod.com. So actually what he offers as a business is basically a done with you setup / consulting service. That's his main business at milemethod.com. So he helps entrepreneurs, business owners basically come up with a custom credit card application schedule / lineup for your business, for your needs, and makes this whole spreadsheet for you. And he did this whole thing for me. And so there's that. And then he will answer your questions anytime you have questions. They have a Facebook group as well. And then also his team will find the best points flights for you. And so that's Mile Method, which I recommend if you kind of want the done for you and that consultative experience. But this video will be, all right, what if I just want to do it myself? And you totally can. And this video will be what I share with my friends that are just asking me, Riley, what should I do? How can I do it myself? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. Alrighty, so I got this little presentation that I built out for you guys, how I fly business class with points. I'm gonna go over it as I am working on my desk that's on top of a barbecue. Okay, so first of all, what is travel hacking? Travel hacking usually refers to credit card bonuses, card benefits, rewards programs, booking strategies, promotions and deals, points optimization. That's the whole kind of travel hacking word, just so you know the the term out there, but travel hacking is kind of this space. And then within travel hacking, you have the credit card welcome bonuses thing. We're talking about point stacking, basically how to stack up as many points as possible so you always have tons of points, so you can always get your flights with points. And so the number one easiest way to get the most points is the credit card welcome bonuses. So that's what we're going to be talking about. This is how I fly business class free. It's not rocket science. You just repeatedly sign up for new cards, collect the welcome bonus, and repeat. It's quite simple. I started doing this in 2021, and now I fly business class to and from Thailand every time. Now I actually look forward to overseas flights. This is true. But what's the catch, you might be asking? The short answer is there is no catch. This is very real, and thousands and thousands and thousands of travel hackers, I'm calling them point stackers, around the US have blogs about this. Plenty of travel bloggers talk about this for years and years and years. So why do credit card companies offer huge welcome bonuses? Because on a mass scale, it's good ROI for them. They know that 99.9% of people will rack up debt and be paying them monthly interest fees. But you don't have to. All you have to do is meet the minimum spend requirement in the first 90 days, it's usually about 3 to 5K, to unlock the welcome bonus. Then you're done. Just pay off that balance in full and you pay $0 interest. Repeat this every 3 months and you'll have plenty of points to fly business class free. But there are some caveats, and I'll get into the caveats in a minute. So basically, how this works is you just sign up for 2 cards every 3 months. Which cards do you ask? Depends on your credit score. If you have a 670 plus credit score, you're good for most of the welcome bonus cards. If not, you'll start with some easy to get cards to build up your credit score until you're like 650, 670 plus. This can take a number of months. So I made a master sheet. People ask me, how do I get started? So I spent some days for you guys over the past few Sundays making a master sheet, trying to make the ultimate easy mode sheet for my American friends. Inside the sheet is all the best cards, their welcome bonuses, the credit score required, the perks, the annual fee, and if you should cancel or not. You can follow the application schedule based on your current credit score. Drag and drop the cards into your application schedule. So here's the sheet. It's a free sheet. And yes, inside of here are my referral affiliate links to all the cards. Disclaimers are at the bottom, affiliate disclaimers. So here's the example sheet. Here's your sheet. Here's a list of all the cards. And here's an example of all the cards that I got in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Okay, it looks like I started this in 2020 actually, right during COVID. Okay, so basically in here you can see the name of the card, if it's personal or business, the welcome offer, the minimum spend. For example, this one's 6K in 6 months, 4K in 3 months, 4K in 3 months, 2K in 6 months, 10K in 3 months, 4K in 3 months, etc. The score to get that card, the credit score required to get that card, how that card earns points, a summary of the card, and when you should cancel the card. So some cards, you should keep them year after year. Some cards you should cancel after 11 months to avoid the annual fee. Some cards, even if you cancel at 11 months, you'll still pay 1 annual fee. It depends. So the goal with this sheet is to build out kind of the master sheet of all the cards, all the information, and then you will be updating this as you go. If it's approved, you put approved. If it's on your to-do list, just put to-do. If you submitted the application, you put submitted. If it's denied, you can put denied. If it's called to appeal, if you want to call them to appeal. So that's for a whole nother video, but it's happened to me a couple times. Trevor told me actually the exact thing to say. You call them and say, hey, I was denied, blah, 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 and they reverse the decision. So Anyways, we'll call this one submitted, for example. All right, so the step-by-step process for you. So you're gonna start by writing down all the cards that you have had before. For some cards, you can get the welcome bonus again after 2 years after closing it. If that's the case, close it out, add it to the sheet to get it again in 2 years, and you can get it again in 2 years. If there's no welcome offer, it's just like, I had like an old Bank of America credit card or some old regular credit cards, you can keep them open. There's no need to close credit cards, even if you're not using them. Basically, the more available credit you have, the higher your credit score, okay? So just track this all on the sheet. If you have bad or no credit, you're gonna need to skip ahead and start building your credit, but that's coming up next. So step 2 is basically look at all the cards in the sheet and pick the 2 cards that you wanna start with that makes sense for you. Obviously, the current credit score is gonna get approved for. If you have a business, I would recommend starting with the American Express Business Gold card. It's the best business card. Choose 2 cards that you want to start with and apply to both of those cards on the same day. Let's assume you get approved for those cards. Next step is just meet the minimum spend for that card. We'll go into some tips and tricks to meet that in a second. Update your master sheet and collect the welcome bonus. The welcome bonus appears in your account on your next statement. So if you meet the welcome bonus in the first 30 days, which usually I do, that means 30 days after getting approved on the first statement closing date, boom, check your Amex points account, boom, 75,000 points are in there. Or check your Chase Unlimited Rewards points, boom, check that. The 100,000 points will be in there. So those can be ready to use within 30 days. Next step is apply to 2 more cards in 90 days. Just add the date that you should apply to those in your sheet, and then just repeat that every 90 days. If you keep doing this, you should stack up at least 100,000 points every 3 months and at least 400,000 points every year. This is enough for 2 to 3 long-haul business class flights per year. Typical business class flight from Asia to US is around 120 to 150,000 points. The route that I just got was actually Saigon to San Francisco, direct, 14 hours, and it was 154,000 points, booked through Virgin Air points, and I transferred my Amex points over there. Okay, but booking points is a whole separate part of this. Okay, so that's the gist of it. Going into what if you have a low credit score / no credit. So if you have low or no credit, search for a secured card, and you'll need to start there, such as the ones below. Apply for 2 of them. Just apply for these first 2. The first one is my affiliate link. The second 2 are not. Just get any 2 secured credit cards. And how long does it take to raise your credit score? On average, it can take 12 to 24 months of responsible credit management to improve your credit score from 500, let's say, to 700. I got that answer online, but yeah, expect around 1 to 2 years to build up your credit, and you need to get around 670 to be eligible for most of these juicy bonuses. So that can take 1 to 2 years. Okay, how to raise your credit score fast. Here's an article about how to raise your credit score fast. There's different tips and tricks around all that. Ask ChatGPT or just ask the internet. But a secured credit card is one of the easiest ways. All right, some tips to meet the minimum spend requirement. So the minimum spend requirement is typically 3 to 5K within the first 3 months. And Trevor Mile Method always likes to say, just do it with your regular spending. For most people, you can spend 3 to 5K in 3 months with just your everyday spending. So when you get a new car, just switch it to your daily driver and just do that. But for me, that's a hassle. So I prefer to knock it out with 1 to 2 big purchases with all my new cards within the first 30 days. So there's everyday spending, there's buy something which will be reimbursed. There's pay your rent / mortgage with plastic.com. There is buy crypto / stock. with an asterisk, some cards count crypto/stock purchases as cash advances, which incur fees and may or may not be eligible towards minimum spend. Same thing with same thing with Venmo, PayPal/Venmo. I think, for example, Venmo and PayPal with American Express does not count towards minimum spend requirement. Also, potential loophole ideas, consider this at your own risk. Does a friend own a business? Pay him for a $5,000 consultation for a service that has a 7-day money-back guarantee, which is reimbursed directly. From ChatGPT, here are some more ideas from ChatGPT, and here are some more ideas from a NerdWallet article, 10 clever ways to reach travel credit card minimum spend requirements. Okay, so it's not rocket science, but there are ways to do that. Okay, perfectly legal, fine hacks. One of those ways is paying your taxes online, and here are some websites where you can pay your taxes online with a credit card. Okay, so we've talked about credit card sign-up bonuses. That is the biggest chunk and the biggest way that you're going to stack a shitload of points. The other biggest way is over here. This is for business owners only, and this is for business expenses. The easiest thing you can do right away is get the American Express Business Gold Card that earns 4x points on ad spend or your top 2 categories of spend. Doing that overnight is something I really wish I did years sooner as an Amazon FBA business owner. So start using that for your Amazon ad spend or your any sort of ad spend right away. Some situations you can even buy your inventory with a credit card. Now, it's not guaranteed you're gonna get the 3 points or the 4x points on inventory, but at least you can get 1x points on all purchases, including inventory, if you can set it up that way with your supplier. The other best business card is the Chase Ink Preferred that gets 3x points on ad spend. So I've told this to many friends in the e-commerce space. Just by switching your ad spend over to one of those cards is going to earn you potentially hundreds of thousands of points per year, and just that alone will be enough for you to always fly free. So that's the whole other part for business owners. For example, if you spend only $10,000 a month on ads, that's $125,000 per year in ads. You're earning about 500,000 Amex points per year. That's multiple free business class flights. That's just as good as 5+ sign-up bonuses. So business expenses is the whole other thing. Quote from Trevor in a recent podcast we did.
If you have a business, you should not be paying for flights. You should always be flying business class for free.
US credit card sign-up bonuses are as close as it gets to free money. You click buttons and you get free flights. Okay, here's another fun fact. This year, I think I booked about $95,000 worth of retail hotel value for free. $95,000.
Oh my.
Also, this whole thing only works for Americans. Anyway, if I haven't mentioned that. This applies, all these welcome bonuses are for Americans only. Okay, and we're back. A whole month just passed. Just had the whole month back home as usual, and here in Seattle, boarding the flight in an hour to Bangkok. So, a couple more things to go. This section is on the caveats. So there are some caveats. So number one, if you don't use credit responsibly, if you actually end up racking up your card spending, it will backfire. This is the biggest catch or risk in my opinion. Having many open credit cards for inexperienced people can be tempting to buy things we can't afford. And I'll admit it, I did this at first. It's the American way after all. That's why credit card companies offer these insane welcome bonuses in the US. So if you rack up the spend that you can't pay off immediately, the company has won. Now you are paying them a monthly interest fee. And if you max out that credit card or miss payments, it will hurt your credit score and you won't be able to get new cards and more points. That's why with the point stacking method, we throw away our cards and cancel them after we've collected the welcome bonus. So that's the main thing. You have to be disciplined and not use all of these credit cards. So you have to make sure that you pay them off every month, or else you will end up paying them an interest fee every month. They win. If you don't, you win. So number 2 caveat is not all business class rewards tickets are available, but if you're flexible with travel dates like most nomads, it's not really an issue. Also, sometimes you'll end up taking a longer itinerary to get the business class rewards flights. So for example, I flew business class from Bangkok to Seattle last month on an itinerary that had 2 stopovers, whereas the normal economy flight only has 1 stopover. So it was a little bit longer, but I chose it because I could get business class rewards ticket on that flight. I booked my flight, only 2 weeks in advance. And if you're like me, you book last minute pretty often, 2 weeks in advance, a week in advance. There's not always every itinerary has business class seats for points available. Okay, so that's caveat number 2. And number 3 is because of reason number 2, you need to spend a couple hours or maybe even a couple days to find the best business class rewards route. But luckily there's a new website which makes this easier, which I'll get into in a second. Number 4, you have to spend a couple hours every 3 months organizing your master spreadsheet. You need to track your points, your bonuses, your sign-up dates, and your cancellation dates. But if you love spreadsheets, this is a fun spreadsheet. Yeah, so luckily I made this template sheet where it's how I track all my points, the minimum spend, how that card earns points. It's basically a master sheet of all the cards, and you can just use my template. It's a free template. Number 5 is you have to pay the annual fee. So most of the time, this is unavoidable. Whatever, that's fine. Normally it's only $100. Sometimes it's $200, $300, but we can live with that. It's a small price to pay compared to the free $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 business class flights that we're getting with our points. That's the whole point. With some cards, you can actually avoid the annual fee, but I would say with most of them, you still have to eat that annual fee. Okay, whatever. All right, and number 6 caveat is this works for US citizens only. While there are some good credit card offers in the UK, Canada, and other countries, the offers are notoriously good and plentiful in the US in terms of the welcome sign-up bonuses. These are the 3 tools that you need to get started. To start, you can start with either 2 cards right away and do 2 cards every 3 months, or you can do 1 card every 3 months. That's fine too. It's up to you. In Trevor's Mile method, it's 2 cards every 3 months, right? Because he tries to get his clients 1,000,000 points in 18 months. But like, if you just want to do 1 card every 3 months, okay, that's fine. If you're not going to travel that much, 1 card every 3 months is fine. I think that's totally fine, but it's up to you. But his method says maximum 2. Otherwise, it's too many applications on your credit history. So it's probably something to that. So no more than 2 applications every 90 days. That's the idea, to keep the optimal credit score. Okay, the next tool is point.me. So you type in where you want to go, and it brings up the best business class points, seats, itineraries. So this is a new tool that's relatively new, and it's a game changer. Yeah. Okay, so it took like 2 minutes to find all the flights. And so as you can see here, a flight from New York to London 10 days from now is only 90,000 points for business class. And then it puts the best flight first, and then you click the drop down. And as you can see here, you can get this flight with either Amex points, Bilt points, Capital One points, or Chase points, or Citi points. And so it shows you where to transfer the points. So you can actually, so what you'll do here is you'll transfer these points to British Airways. Oh, and then these options down here are points plus cash. I've actually never seen that before. That must be a new feature if you have a little bit less points. So here's the points plus the total taxes or fees or whatever. So Amex and Chase are the main ones. So you click here and it shows you like exactly what to do. And then it's just very easy. You just go into your Amex account, you go to transfer points, you select British Airways, you put in your British Airways account number. Obviously you sign up for a British Airways account first, and then you transfer the points, and then you go into British Airways website and you book the flight with your 90,000 points. And that's it. That's a business class flight for 90,000 points. You know, you sign up for your one credit card. There's many welcome offers that are 90,000 points plus. You get 1 or 2 credit cards and you're good. So that's it. That's point.me. And the other site is Award Wallet. So Award Wallet is basically a thing where you plug in all of your accounts and it shows all of your points in one place for all of your points accounts. So just an easy way to track, which Trevor recommends. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you are traveling economy, and if let's say you're using points for an economy flight, there is a travel hack that makes economy flights not as bad. And it is this. It's the seat sleeper. This straps to your head and it straps over the headrest like this. And it keeps your head from bobbing up and down like this. And my mom actually invented this, and it sells like 100 a day on Amazon. It crushes it on it. And it really works. It's the shit. This is Seat Sleeper. You can find it on Amazon. So shout out to my mom for inventing this product. It was just an idea she had. Also, if you hate carrying a wallet while traveling, check out the Sticky Wallet. This is my product. Still selling on Amazon. So those are the 2 products you can check out, and honestly 2 of my favorite products. Anyways, this was my beginner's crash course to point stacking / travel hacking. And I just wanted to bang this shitty video out because just to send to my friends that ask me. Because people always ask me this, like my aunts and cousins are asking me about this. And so I just wanted to get a video out there. And yeah, it's something that's fun to talk about. And so, yeah, if you're up to doing it, like, why not do it? This just takes some spreadsheets and clicking buttons. You know, it just takes a little bit of work and then you can fly business class. So we're lucky as Americans to have this. And point stacking, travel hacking, Riley Bennett, forever. We're out. I'm gonna go board my flight. And yeah, let me know what questions or concerns you have in the comments. Let's get it, boys. See you in Thailand. Oh, they just announced the digital nomad visa. Oh, that's shit's crazy. Let me know if you want me to make a video about that. I'm probably gonna get it. All right, peace.